Good morning, dear students. Let us have a recap of the first lesson, cell, its structure and function. In the starting of the lesson, you have learned the structures of a typical plant cell and animal cell and what are the differences between plants and animal cell. The major difference between a plant and animal cell is presence of plastids, that is chloroplast, presence of cell wall. So you can have a look at the two structures of the typical plant and animal cells and go through the labels or organelles which are present in both of the cells. And we have discussed about the activities, how to observe the cell membrane in the onion peel cells or Rio leaf cell, and an activity to observe the nucleus in the human cheek cells by using a stain called safranin or crystal violet. You can observe the darkly stained body inside the human cheek cells, which is nothing but nucleus. Observing the structure and function of the nucleus. Nucleus is a very important cell organelle inside the cell. It is called control room of the cell and it stores cell hereditary material or DNA and also helps in the ribosomal formation, and it has a control on all the activities including the protein synthesis, growth, reproduction, and every activity of the cell is under the control of nucleus. And nucleus plays a major role in the cell division also. Based on the presence and absence of nucleus, cells are divided into two types. The cells which do not have a proper membrane bound nucleus, they are called prokaryotic cells, and the cells which contain a well defined nucleus are called eukaryotic cells. So the cells like bacteria, they comes under prokaryotic cell, and all the plant and animal cells, they are considered as eukaryotic cells. And coming to the cell organelles, we have discussed about different cell organelles, majorly cell membrane and cell wall. Cell membrane present in the animal cells and in plant cells. An extra layer called cell wall is present in the plant cells. The cell wall is made up of majorly cellulose and the cell membrane is made up of proteins and lipids. So the major function of this cell membrane is to allow only certain molecules to move inside the cell. Such type of phenomenon or property is called selectively permeable membrane. So let us once again discuss each and every cell organelle in detail. The important cell organelle which helps in producing energy and storing energy inside the cell is mitochondria. Mitochondria is called powerhouse of the cell because it stores energy in the form of ATP. The function of mitochondria is cellular respiration. So the food material which is present inside the cell is oxidized, means added with oxygen and broken down into simpler compounds releasing energy. So as the function of mitochondria is to store energy and supply that energy to the cell, it is called powerhouse of the cell. Coming to the important cell organelle which is present in exclusively in the plant cell, those are plastids. Plastids are the type of cell organelles which give color to the cells. So they are of three types: chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast. So we are going to read the structure of chloroplast here. You can observe chloroplast is a disc-shaped structure. It contains two membranes and the inner membrane is folded into thylakoids. The space inside the chloroplast is called stroma. So chloroplast is the site of photosynthesis. The thylakoids which are present inside the chloroplast trap the sunlight and help the conversion of light energy into chemical energy in the process of photosynthesis. Ribosomes are small granule-like structures which are dispersed in the cytoplasm, and they are very important because they are the sites of protein synthesis. So ribosomes are made up of two units, a smaller unit and a larger unit. Another important cell organelle is endoplasmic reticulum, which is called cytoskeleton of the cell. So this is spreading from the neural membrane to the cell membrane and helps in the transportation of different substances within the cell. So endoplasmic reticulum has two parts. Some of the endoplasmic reticulum is smooth and some of the endoplasmic reticulum is rough. So why we call it as rough endoplasmic reticulum? Because due to the presence of ribosomes on it. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is the site of protein synthesis and smooth endoplasmic reticulum helps in lipid synthesis and drug detoxification and transport of proteins within the cell. The cell organelles which are important in packing the materials and transporting them from one part of the cell to another part of the cell are Golgi apparatus or Golgi complex. These cell organelles are formed by stack of membrane bound flattened sacs and they contains tubes and vesicles. The proteins or fats or lipid molecules which are formed by endoplasmic reticulum are packed by the vesicles present in Golgi apparatus and they are transported from one part of the cell to another part. As these cell organelles were identified by Camillo Golgi in the cytoplasm, on his name they are named as Golgi apparatus or Golgi complex. The cell organelles which play a major role in digesting the damaged parts of the cell or removing the waste from the cell are lysosomes. So whenever the cell is damaged, the hydrolytic enzymes or digestive enzymes which are present in the lysosomes burst out and digest the cell. So as the cell is digested by itself or by the cell organelle which is present within it, these cell organelles are called suicidal bags of the cell. The cell organelles majorly present in the plant cell which help in maintaining the pressure inside the cell are vacuoles. Vacuole is a fluid filled space present in the plant and animal cell. Its major function is more prominent in the plant cell and major portion of the plant cell is occupied by a large vacuole. In some type of cells, vacuoles store food and also are important in maintaining the pressure exerted by the cell sap within the cell. That was all about cell organelles and their function, and you have also learned that cells when observed under a microscope observe in 3D shape. The most very important concepts which were explained by different scientists was cell theory. So the first cell was discovered by Robert Hooke and two scientists named Schleiden and Schwann. They gave the statements in the cell theory that all the living organisms are made up of one or more cells. Later, this cell theory was again formulated and developed by Rudolf Virchow, and he stated that all living things are composed of one or more cells and new cells arise from the division of pre-existing cells. So these are the statements given by Rudolf Virchow in the cell theory. With this, we have concluded the first lesson. That was the conclusion of first lesson, and we'll meet in the next videos with still more interesting concepts. Thank you children. Stay safe and stay healthy.